Hey everyone, Lucky here, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys my team builder and battle for week 4 of the WPF against T4U and the Boston Red Sox. Um, I was super excited to do the team builder for this because, as you can see, I have finally decided to come up with some graphics for this. So before the battle, I had gone and I had recorded my team builder and everything, and then came through and recorded the battle, and then I found out that none of the visuals actually showed up. And so I had to re-record, which was unfortunate. But here we are. We're gonna re-record this and see how it goes. Also, stick around after the battle. I made a free agency transaction this week, and so after the battle, I'll say what that transaction was and talk about my thoughts for that a bit. So, with that being said, let's get into the team builder and have my first view of the layout. So, before I go into the team, this is kind of the layout you guys are going to be seeing most of the weeks going forward. On the left will be my team. On the right will be my opponent's team, and as you can see, I'll have our records and differential there. And then the actual team I'm bringing is going to be in the middle here. Up top, this is something that I'm not entirely sure if this is going to be what's going to be there every week. It's going to be some sort of thing kind of showing how I'm breaking down my opponent's team and my team, but you know that's going to be fluid. But as far as the team in the middle and my team and opponent's teams on the side, that's going to stick every week. So this is going to be a very tough battle for the conference, as I think Boston is differential wise they're second in the conference right now, but they're an undefeated team, and I've only lost once the first week of the season to a team that's also undefeated. So it's going to be a heavyweight battle coming up this week. And yeah, so first I'm going to look at the offensive threats that I think are going to be a problem for my team. Urshifu is the big one. That thing is stupid, and not just because it has a strong attack and good typing, but because specifically for my team and how I like to build, that Wicked Blow move. Normally, Corviknight could be a decent answer to it, but I'd come in and click a Iron Defense or Bulk Up, and it couldn't really do much. However, Wicked Blow always crits, and that just sucks. It's very hard to defensively handle that Urshifu. Yeah, that always critting is a stupid move. I don't know why they decided to put that in the game, but it's here. Mega Diancie is a threat. Every week it's got super good attacking stats. It's super fast. So it naturally outspeeds most things on my team, with only the Coco out and the Lycanroc outspeeding it. I hate webs, so even though I don't know if he'll bring it or not, I just always have to be conscious that, hey, webs could be set up, and that would be annoying if they do get set up. And then I don't necessarily think he'll bring Aegislash. I don't think it has the best matchup against my team, but he could, and so I have to prep for that and make sure that at least something can handle it on the team. Defensive pains that I'm going to have to deal with to be able to win the game. Slowbro is the big one. So his team is fairly weak to Garchomp, especially with the Edge Quick combo, except that Slowbro can take pretty much any hit that Garchomp can throw at it. So for Garchomp to sweep at the end and do a lot of damage, that Slowbro needs to be either dead or severely weakened. Vikavolt could be a problem for the team because it handles a lot of my top threats in one way or another. Like Garchomp can't click Earthquake against it. Tapu Koko doesn't have anything to hit it super hard. While Mega Charizard could hit it hard and kill it, it can't switch into it. Suicune, if I don't have a bunch of Calm Mind set up, it deals with that. Corviknight obviously hurts that a lot. So a lot of my top threats it deals with pretty well. Steelix I think is going to be tough because Coco really can't do anything to it at all. And then I think Wish from Sylveon could be something that I'm worried about. And if I whittle things down and then he's able to wish them back up, specifically I'm thinking of the Steelix, that would be unfortunate. So what I think he's going to be bringing this week, I'm almost positive that the Urshifu, the Mega DNC, and the Steelix are coming. The Urshifu just is too good from week to week not to come, and especially with how he's probably seen how I sometimes build my team, that Wicked Blow and always critting is super important. Mega DNC I think is coming because it's really the only thing on his team that can reliably check offensively check a Garchomp. I mean, Boltund outspeeds, but I don't think it can kill with a play rough, and Garchomp could just OHKO it back with Earthquake. Same with Dragology. I mean, obviously Dragology can OHKO it with a Draco, but it will die first to an Earthquake. So yeah, and then I'm almost positive Steelix is coming just because it is his best answer to the Tapu Koko, and Koko can't really do anything against it at all. So yeah, and then I have under probable that Slowbro's coming because, like I said, it really is probably his best check to the Garchomp. I don't have it as for sure coming just because even though it's only one Mon, it's possible it gets scared off by the Koko. I doubt it though. I think Sylveon's coming because the Wish will be very important, and it's another fairy that can make sure that Garchomp can't just lock itself into like Outrage. And then I think Vikavolt is probably coming, so I know that one of Vikavolt, Moltres, or Golbat is coming, or at least I'm pretty sure, because otherwise Earthquake is just free. So I think one of those will be coming just so I can't just click Earthquake on the Garchomp. For reasons I said earlier, I think Vikavolt is probably the best one to bring, but he could bring one of the other two, so that's why impossible I have Moltres and Golbat. Aegislash I don't think is gonna come, but it's possible he brings it if he decides to that he wants it as like an offensive threat. But at which point, if he brings that over something else, like say the Slowbro, I'll be super happy. Or even or he brings it over the Steelix, because then I could just click Thunderbolts. I don't think the Boltund is coming. It doesn't have a great matchup, and same with the Dragology. I don't think it's coming. It could do okay. I mean, it stops Koko okay, and it's pretty specially bulky, but I think his team would be pretty weak to Garchomp then. So with that, let's get into the team I'm going to bring. The first thing I saw about this team is he's very weak to Edgequake. Earthquake very specifically does a lot to his team, and then Stone Edge hits everything that Earthquake doesn't. And so for the first time this season, I'm going to be bringing my choice Scarf Garchomp with enough speed to outspeed a Urshifu, and Earthquake Stone Edge for the Edgequake combo, and Outrage is there just in case there's something like Urshifu and like Vikavolt or Moltres left at the very end, and I couldn't safely lock myself into Earthquake or Stone Edge. Then Outrage is there to clean up at the end. And then for the fourth slot, I have Rocks. It was between Rocks and Toxic. Maybe I could have even run both, but I don't necessarily want two statuses on my choice Scarfer. So Toxic would have been there because I predict that Slowbro would be a pretty good switch into the Garchomp, and so I can click the Toxic and get it whittled down. But overall, Stealth Rock helped with a lot of my other calcs for other mons I'll get into, and just having that chip damage necessary, and so I went with that. Yeah. So next up we have a somewhat supportive pivot Tapu Koko this week, rocking the heavy duty boots. Enough speed there is just to outspeed the DNC. Like I said, I don't think the Boltund's coming. I could have even gone Modest, but I wanted more bulk this week just to be able to take some more hits. And then for moves, U-turn, Thunderbolt, Taunt, and Nature's Madness. Those Taunt and Nature's Madness are the fun moves. So U-turn just to pivot out on everything. Because, like I said, I'm pretty sure the Steelix is coming. And Thunderbolt just to do the most damage. I don't need Gleam on this just because the only thing I would really click it against is the Urshifu, and even then Thunderbolt does like 69% minimum to an Urshifu, and I really don't think there's going to be a situation in which it's Coco versus Urshifu and Urshifu stays in. So yeah, I mean, because even if the Urshifu is scarfed and it clicks Poison Jab, if I'm at full, it doesn't kill the Coco. So there's that. And Taunt and Nature's Madness. Taunt is there for two reasons. One, for the Vikavolt if it gets webs up, but the combination of Taunt and Nature's Madness is mostly there to help out with the Sylveon and prevent it from wishing up, if possible. And also Nature's Madness is good for if I predict like Steelix to switch in and want to get a nice 50% chunk damage off that, because I have nothing else to touch it. Corviknight we have here, and it's a defensive set. This week, no setup because it doesn't really help me at all with the Urshifu there. Iron Head for the fairies, and then Brave Bird for the Urshifu. Roost just for longevity. And then I have Defog on Corviknight as well as Rapid Spin on Hitmontop. Not because, obviously I'm not bringing the Charizard Y, not because I'm super worried like if he gets rocks up or anything. But I just don't want webs up. That would really hurt my team a lot. So that's why that's there. I was between Brave Bird and U-turn because like Slowbro comes in pretty free. It would be nice to be able to get a U-turn out on that, or like the Steelix or something. It keeps the momentum up. But I also didn't want to be in a situation where I couldn't actually do anything to Urshifu. So that's why I kept the Brave Bird. Suicune this week is a Calm Mind set again. However, it is offensive Calm Mind. I believe the speed, it's max special attack, modest nature. I believe the speed is there to outspeed if he decided to go max speed timid Sylveon, which there is a reason to do because max speed timid Sylveon outspeeds max speed adamant Hitmontop by 1 point. And so I wanted to make sure Suicune could outspeed that. And then I was between Ice Beam and Toxic, or even Hydro Pump for the last move. I decided on Toxic, just it's a good thing. That's mostly there to maybe help out Garchomp later. I don't like Toxic Stall, but I tend to use Toxic more as a breaking move than a defensive stalling move. It helps to wheel down walls a lot. And like I said, I didn't really think that the Dragalge was going to come, and so I didn't think I needed Ice Beam on this set. So yeah, that's my Suicune. Venusaur is another bulky offensive set. I wanted to make it as bulky as possible while with the coverage of Sludge Bomb, Giga Drain, and Earth Power dealing as much damage as possible. And I can't remember exactly what everything it did was, but the 184 modest special attack helped to pick up a lot of 2-hit KOs that I wouldn't otherwise pick up. I know that specific investment was good for a lot on the team. And then Leechy is there just for added recovery, and also if something switches in that Venusaur doesn't really touch all that well, like for instance, if the Moltres switches in, or even the Vikavolt, something like that that Venusaur otherwise can't touch, Leechy just helps do a little bit of damage while giving me recovery, and then whatever I switch out into to take the hit of something that's going to hit the Venusaur also gets that recovery after. And then I have Hitmontop, which is basically my best shot at dealing with Urshifu. I really just want to get some chip on it so that Coco can click its Thunderbolt if necessary, or something like that. So Hitmontop is the only thing that's able to take 2 hits from the Urshifu, because it resists the Wicked Blow, So, and then the Intimidate helps if you have to go for close combat. So the defensive investment allows it to take two of any move from Urshifu, and then the Rocky Helmet's there to chip it, and then the rest is just to get some nice offensive damage on there. I have Close Combat and Earthquake. Close Combat's there, just a strong stab move, hits Urshifu, hits a lot of his team pretty effectively. And then I have Earthquake there just as to potentially deal with the Aegislash if it comes. I don't think it's going to, but if it comes, it's there. Also can deal damage to the Dragalge. Rapid Spin, like I said earlier, because I wanted something to deal with webs. Also helps speed boost, which is kind of cool. And then Toxic is there mainly because I predict Slowbro might be a switch in. And if that's the case, like I said, the main goal of this team is trying to get Slowbro out of the way and then have Garchomp come in at the end and clean up. So there's my team for that week. Let me know what you guys think of the layout and if it's something that keep it this way in the future or something else that might be a good idea to see at the top. And with that, we will get into the battle. Hello everyone, here we are with the battle for this week. So looking at team preview, the first thing I notice is he brought the Moltres instead of the Vikavolt, and he did bring the Dragalge, which I didn't think he was going to bring. And that means he also did not bring the Steelix, and I'm very surprised about. That means that Thunderbolts are actually pretty free from Tapu Koko. Regardless, I'm thinking I'm just going to lead Tapu Koko. It's the best overall lead. I can just outspeed everything and U-turn out unless something is scarfed, and if they are scarfed, I don't think there's any scarfed thing that can kill me. So he goes and leads with the Dragalge here. I'm predicting a flip turn, so I'm just going to U-turn out, go into Corviknight, as he does, click the flip turn, and goes into Moltres. So here I'm thinking a little bit, what do I switch in? Because I'm pretty sure Fire Blast is coming. He can't really mess around with Corviknight. I thought about switching in Garchomp, but there's a burn chance, and also I didn't really want him to predict, and because he knows I can't stay in and just go for a Hurricane. So I'm going to go ahead and decide to switch into Suicune here, as he misses the Fire Blast. I don't think that really mattered that much. So here I'm going to start setting up combines. Now, if I had Ice Beam, I probably would have clicked it here, but I don't, so I knew I needed more damage for Shadow Ball to do something to it, and he clicks Haze. So I'm like, well, I can't set up on this. Let's go to Venusaur, as he reveals the Toxic Spikes. Now that's a little annoying for the team, especially since Venusaur is in right now. Like, it can absorb the Toxic Spikes fine, but I'd have to switch to something else first. Luckily, Koko has the boots, and Corviknight is immune to them, so he'd go ahead and defog that. So yeah. So here I just clicked the Leech Seed, as I don't know if he predicted me to switch out or what, but he ends up going for the Sludge Wave. Or that's the best thing to hit me. Doesn't do much. I also predicted him to switch out. That's why I went for the Leech Seed. Here I predict him to switch out again as I go for Sludge Bomb, but I guess Slip Turb is pretty safe. I didn't want to reveal the Earth Power quite yet, because I think it could be useful. Here I'm like, well, Venusaur's important, gotta get that out. Let's go into my dedicated Urshifu switch in, get some Intimidate, get some chip off, do that. So he does take the Rocky Helmet. I see his Life Orb, which is good to note. He's not Scarf, and he's going to whittle himself down pretty easily. So here I do think he's probably going to go switch out. I think I may make a misplay here and go for close combat. Probably could have just Rapid Spin to get rid of the Toxic Spikes and probably outspeed whatever he sends in, and can hit that next. But I just go for the close combat because I don't want to mess around with this Urshifu. as he goes into Moltres and takes a decent chunk, but that's not that much. So here, I don't really want to switch anything into the Moltres. Suicune can take a hit, but I don't want it to get poisoned because I don't have rest this week. And so I'm just going to let my Hitmontop go down, which it does. And here I get a free switch into Koko, and I can just freely click a Thunderbolt. Dragalge could come in, but then I can just pivot out and get into like Venusaur and absorb the Toxic Spikes. And because I'm Boots this week, I don't have to worry about getting poisoned. So I'm just going to go ahead and click a free Thunderbolt as he leaves the Moltres in and kills it. That is so great because now, even though Slowbro can come in and not take much, Earthquake from Garchomp is free. Also, I don't have to worry about switching into the Moltres anymore, so Venusaur is also looking pretty strong against this team as well. So here he brings the Dragalge in. I just hard switch. I'm not sure why I did that. I don't know why I didn't just click Earthquake or U-turn. U-turn was no drawback play. I outspeed it, and if he did switch out and try to double, I would get momentum. So I don't know why I hard switched. I did. Same, U-turn doesn't do much, so it's basically the same effect as I switch into Venusaur again, as he switches out and flip turns out and goes into the Urshifu. So now I lost my Urshifu switch in, so the second one that could maybe take 2 hits is Corviknight. And so that's going to be my switch in as he goes for Wicked Blow, and he's getting whittled down, which I'm excited about. And here I know I can take another one, so I'm just going to roost up as he goes into Slowbro. Now here I'm predicting a water move from Slowbro or a teleport. I'm not predicting him to go straight for the Psychic move, and so I'm pretty safe to switch into Venusaur. If he does go straight for the Psychic move, great play on his part. I'm pretty bulky, so I should be able to live. But I go into the Venusaur as he does go for the Psychic move, but it's a Future Sight. So now I think I'm in my head thinking, okay, I need to keep track of when this attack's going to go off, because the Corviknight's a pretty safe switch into it, but nothing else really wants to take that Future Sight attack. However, if I keep track of it, the Corviknight can switch in nicely and just tank it. So here I have one turn before I have to switch out. I'm just going to hit what's in front of me. I'm going to hit the Giga Drain, and he lets Slowbro take a ton of damage as Slowbro teleports out into Dragalge. Here I switch out because I know that both Corviknight can take any hit coming from the Dragalge, and also that the Future Sight attack's coming, and Venusaur can't take that, obviously. So I did take the Future Sight attack, and I recover up. So here's where I kind of wish that I had U-turn, that I could have maybe done that against the Slowbro. But we're going to go through this dance a little bit. As he goes for Scald this time. This time I know he's not going to stay in, I don't think. And so I reveal the Earth Power. Now, it's especially with the Moltres gone, the Earth Power is very safe against this team. And so I'm just going to click it again. It does a decent amount of damage as he sets up Toxic Spikes. Here, as I said, it's very safe. I want to get rid of that Dragalge, so I click it again. So here against the... I'm just kind of surprised he switched in the Sylveon. Because switching a Sylveon against the poison type's interesting, but I thought he might like try to take a hit, baton pass out or something. I don't know. So I just clicked the Leech Seed and thought he might double or do something. So I just clicked the Leech Seed to get whatever comes in. As he sets up a Wish, which is annoying. So with the Wish in the air, I go into Corviknight. I don't quite know why I did that, I guess. Because now Urshifu goes up to full health, and that's not good, because I had worked hard to whittle it down. So here I end up roosting off and getting to a decent amount of health. Here, I maybe could have clicked roost again, but I didn't want to mess around with the Urshifu, so I just click Brave Bird. This is when it would have been nice to have U-turn, but whatever. Here we'll do the same dance. Venusaur comes in on the Slowbro. gets rid of toxic spikes as he teleports out, switches into Urshifu. Urshifu gets the Wicked Blow. Corviknight's gonna die. However, it does take 2 hits to kill, and Urshifu's now gonna be in range of a Thunderbolt from Coco. And so that's just what I'm going to do. Come out and just click Thunderbolt because Dragalge, which can take 1, is pretty low. I don't think Mega DNC wants to take 2. And Sylveon, even if it comes in, then I can taunt it so it can't get a wish back up, and Nature's Badness it and get it down pretty low health. And so I'm just going to click Thunderbolt here as pretty safely, pretty safe click. Here I'm predicting the wish, so I go ahead and taunt it as it can't get a wish in the air. So here I Nature's Madness to get it down a decent amount of health as he goes for Moonblast, and that does a lot of damage. I'm kind of surprised to see the Moonblast over Hyper Voice, but who knows. So I just click U-turn. This time I actually do click U-turn instead of hard switch out. And I'm going to go ahead and go into the Venusaur here to tank the Moonblast because I figure that's his only attacking move. So here, I'm just going to click what's in front of me. Sludge Bomb's pretty safe. And that's what I do because I do not want him getting a wish up. So I go ahead and do that and I'm getting a pretty full as he switches into Urshifu. Now at this point in the game, I don't really have anything that can go ahead and switch in and wants to take a hit. And Garchomp at this point is still looking good with a Scarf to win. But Suicune, I don't want to switch in, and Coco, I don't want to switch in. So I'm just going to let Venusaur take the hit as he lives, and I get a bunch of health back. So now I'm almost close to 50%, which is cool. So here I stay in as he Megas. I'm just hoping either that I can live a Diamond Storm, or if he clicks Diamond Storm, that he does not get the defense boost. Because that could be something that's difficult to handle. As he goes to the side shot, kills the Venusaur. So here I go ahead and switch into Garchomp. I know that this is like the most obvious choice Scarf, and I could have clicked something like Rocks here, predicting the Slowbro to come in. However, at this point, I don't want to mess around with this DNC sitting in front of me. I just want to deal damage to it. And so, yeah, I'm just going to click Earthquake. I'm in a pretty good position. I don't want to deal that. So here, I'm going to switch into Suicune because Slowbro's shown it doesn't have anything that could hit it. I think it's revealed 3 of its moves so far, in Future Sight, Teleport, and Scald, and I'm assuming the last move is Slack Off. And so I don't think he has Toxic or anything to really handle the Suicune. So Suicune's a pretty safe Citron here, as I'm just going to go ahead and set up my Calm Mind as he teleports out. And then this time I'm going to reveal the Shadow Ball. I'm going to reveal I have a coverage move. And kill the Dragalge. Just take the Future Sight. Tank that because I'm boosted. Here, just Scald against the DNC because I can take a Moonblast. Well, that does a ton of damage still, but I'm offensive. So, yep, kill the DNC. And then the Slowbro here, I can go ahead and finish off with a couple Shadow Balls. So that's going to be a 3-0 victory. And dealing the Boston Red Sox their first loss of the season. So great game. Look forward to possibly a rematch in playoffs. Suicune did a lot of work this game. It's up to 10 kills on the season now. So Suicune going for MVP. I'm pretty proud of that. So overall, I think this game was pretty well. I was able to prep well and deal with what I needed to. For instance, the Tapu Koko set worked excellent to deal with the Sylveon and not let it get be too much of a nuisance getting its wishes up. And also had enough that it could have killed the Urshifu. Although I let the Urshifu get 1 wish up, Hitmontop did its job to whittle down the Urshifu. Same with the Corviknight, and Venusaur just did a ton of work this game, switching in, absorbing the toxic spikes, and just dealing a bunch of chip damage. So overall, I'm happy with the team. As I said at the beginning of the video, I made a transaction this week, which I will be talking about next. So, As you guys can see on screen, after this week 4 of WPF, I have decided to use one of my free agency transactions and drop Cladle and pick up Mr. Rhyme. I'm thinking with how I'm liking my team so far that this may be the only free agency transaction of the season, unless there are coaches that decide they want to try to offer me trades for something else. But overall, I just, in prep, Cladle could be useful, but in prep I was never really even considering bringing it, and so it was just kind of there on the team. And so I am losing a few things, like I'm losing a ground and electric immunity, I'm losing a fighting resist, and I'm losing rocks, but none of those things are super detrimental to the team, especially when I wasn't bringing the Cladle anyways. And so I'm gaining much more offensive pressure with Mr. Rhyme. It gets freeze dry, which is really good. It has a strong special attack. Ice is a great attacking type, and Psychic's pretty decent attacking as well. It gets reliable recovery, which is something Cladle didn't have, which is nice, and it has a decent special defense and HP, so it could be a special all if I wanted to. It has a niche ability in screen cleaners, so I gotta make sure that I don't bring it when I'm bringing screens, but if my opponent brings screens and I didn't necessarily prep for it, and I happen to have Mr. Rhyme there, I can just go ahead and send him out and get rid of my opponent's screens. So that's really cool, and I'm thinking I'll actually bring it as the big thing. Having a tier 5 that's just sitting there is not the best, and I don't think Cladle really forces any prep at all. Like, no one's like, oh, I gotta figure out how to deal with Cladle. Mr. Rhyme could force a bit of a prep, so that'll help out the team a decent amount too. And the other cool thing and the big thing with picking up Mr. Rhyme with dropping Cladle is I'm not actually losing a rapid spinner. And especially with a rapid spin buff, I mean, I can just click rapid spin and then get the speed boost, and then Mr. Rhyme is an offensive threat. So overall, I think Mr. Rhyme is going to be a pretty good addition to the team, and I'm looking forward to using it. So that's my transaction for the week. Let me know what you guys think, and I will be talking to you guys later.